Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the new man in D.C., Case Keenum, and the Washington Redskins as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Washington Redskins. Calling the action from up top, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. We got an NFC East matchup here, CD. The most difficult division year to year to really predict. In fact, no team has repeated as division champ since 2004, 15 years ago.
And that was the Eagles, correct?
Yeah.
They went back-to-back. Well, let's be honest about it. The way that these teams match up, the way that they draft, all trying their best to win their division. Very similar styles. Eagles won the Super Bowl not that long ago. Washington, with good health, they were winning the division last year late in the season. How about New York with the Giants trying to make their move? And, of course, Dallas won the division a year ago. But this division is so interesting with Saquon Barkley in New York. Did you know that the caddy of Tiger Woods wore Saquon Barkley's jersey underneath his caddy outfit at the Masters in 2019 when Tiger won for the first time in a long time? Let's be honest about it. Saquon Barkley, he's pretty popular.
Carson Wentz getting ready to roll here. His fourth year now in the NFL. Got that nice 4-year, $128 million extension back in June, and seems to be over the back and knee problems that have plagued him, knock on wood. And he plans, Charles, to ditch the knee brace this year. He could be primed for a big season.
And I think that head coach Doug Peterson and staff will continue to work with him on how he runs the football, taking less chances, because a lot of the times, and Carson told me this a couple years ago, I sometimes forget and try and do it like a running back. Not a good idea for your franchise quarterback. Get down and stay healthy. But the big thing I've seen in camp and keep hearing about, the rapport he's developing with Deshaun Jackson, because he's back in Philadelphia, a home run hit threat at wide receiver. Never established that rapport with Jameis Winston in Tampa. If he does it with Carson Wentz in Philadelphia, look out.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Wentz. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. And now a look at the Washington defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know, Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently, because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Redskins heading out for the first time on offense, and this is, of course, really a team in transition. The first unofficial depth chart that came out in early August, it had Colt McCoy #1 at QB, Case Keenum 2, the rookie Dwayne Haskins at 3. Well, since then, McCoy's been banged up a bit, so it's been Keenum that's moved to the top. And remember, you still have Alex Smith lurking too, Charles, so maybe not for a while.
Yeah, I think that when you ask people in Washington, and I talk with someone close to the situation, Alex Smith is not likely to be involved at all this season. He's still trying to heal. I think Keenum's going to win the job and be the starter to begin the season. McCoy will be 2 and Haskins 3. And I think that's by the organization's own doing. They don't want Dwayne Haskins to be the starter right out of the gate. 1-year starter in college. They prefer that he sit and learn this year and take over starting next season.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Keenum. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now the 2nd year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, here's Keenum. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
A 2nd-round pick out of LSU. The league's about to get their first real extended look at running back Darius Geis, who missed all of his rookie season with a knee injury, but he was ultra-productive in college with over 3,000 yards rushing. A strong runner inside, can also get to the perimeter. He's fortunate enough that the knee injury happened early enough in the season last year that he should be ready to go for all of 2019.
This is Chris Thompson in his 7th season now as a Redskin. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Playing in his 11th season in the NFL is defensive back Malcolm Jenkins, who entered with the New Orleans Saints as a cornerback before shifting back to safety, where he's had his best years. Terrific football IQ, tremendous tackler, can also guard receivers in the slot.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Keenum. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Eagles heading back out, and you think about their backfield, Charles, it's going to be interesting to see how things go here in the rest of preseason and into the regular season. You got Jordan Howard, who you picked up from Chicago, still just 24, twice 1,000-yard rusher, but there's a litany of other options, are there not?
They are absolutely loaded at the running back position because you already mentioned Jordan Howard. He's supposed to be the guy that carries it the most for them. But still on the roster, Josh Adams, undrafted out of Notre Dame. He helped save their season last year. Corey Clement, remember he was undrafted out of Wisconsin, caught a big touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. Wendell Smallwood out of West Virginia gives him kick return ability. Darren Sproles is back. He's a do-it-all guy. Donnell Pumphrey they drafted 2 years ago. And then they drafted this year Miles Sanders out of Penn State, who might be the best out of that whole group. Whoever is looking at this team is thinking to themselves, on cut down day, there are going to be some quality running backs that will be available for the rest of the league.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That's good for 28 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Howard. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. and somehow incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Play action. It's Keenum. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so. That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Shotgun snap for Keenum. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Keenum. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Wentz going to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5 up to the 25-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. To throw is Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Wentz. That's caught by Howard. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Check.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. And a give this time to the tailback. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Got a man. It's the rookie, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 45-yard line. Wentz now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Shotgun now for Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wentz now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz. That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field. Because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They run with Howard. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the same play.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Eagles have taken the lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Geis. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum to Thompson on the screen. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Keenum. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Geis. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else. On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. And
Down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Working from the gun, Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. It's complete. It's Sproles. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
That's the end of the 1st quarter with the score
10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They go counter with Howard. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. This one complete to Sproles. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Wentz now on 1st down. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Sproles. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player? No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Keenum looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Thompson. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here goes the high. Back to the high. Strip that ball. Strip that ball.
Now a 1st down throw. Keenum toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended target was the rookie Terry McLaurin. And now it's 2nd down. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it, he's going to catch it, When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing, but there are plenty of other guys out there, too. If Zeke comes along, you got to take him. Melvin Gordon, if they both come to camp, we'll see how that works out. How about Todd Gurley and his health? Because, boy, when he touches the ball, great things usually happen.
And then wondering, someone like Le'Veon Bell took the year off, now a new offense. But if he starts going like he used to, he's obviously going to be a good one.
Fresh legs is what you're counting on with Le'Veon Bell and a fresh start in New York with the Jets. And if you're looking for an exciting rookie, remember this. Kyler Murray's going to get the ball from the first snap, and they're going to leave him in there throughout. And as long as he stays healthy, he's going to pitch it around the park a bunch. Don't be surprised if he gets a little love, too.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is, and there are plenty of reasons why. Runs great routes, has an understanding of what defenses want to do against him, and really has a great determination to go up and get the football. He decides it's his and no one else's.
And he's decided that a lot so far in this game. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
After the interception, here's Keenum. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, here's an option play left. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Keenum. This will be caught at about the 5. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Hopkins' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to shake off the issue, and he'll look to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mike. Go. Waiting. Mike. Watch your slant. Watch your slant.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Wentz now at 200 yards already in this 1st half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10. On play action, Wentz. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Montez Sweat. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Sproles. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a play fake. Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Redskins scoop it. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Keenum now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On 2nd and 12, Keenum. And Davis has it over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Keenum to throw again. And this one complete to Reed. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Keenum going to come up now 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Keenum. And this is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Keenum now to throw. Able to find his running back, Geis. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Now Keenum again to Thompson on the screen. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Shotgun now for Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Wentz now to throw. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And he goes out right around the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 25 yards that time.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Wentz's throw into the hands of Aguilar. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here we go. Louis! What's the run? They're running it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And the ball is knocked out into the Redskins. Have it they do.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Keenum. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Keenum. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Let's go, team. Gonna be a long day on offense.
On first down, it's Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Fletcher Cox picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Keenum. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has the look of a game that could very well go down to the wire. Just 1 point separating these two clubs at the break. But they're ready for the second half, and we are too. As we'll kick it right back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check 13. Check 13. One set.
Now Keenum. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They'll run on first down. It's Thompson. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, 4 down.
On 2nd and 7, Keenum got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, here's Keenum. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Shotgun handoff now to Geis. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Keenum going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
That's it, baby. You go work.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Wentz going to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that one home run before this one's over.
On 2nd down now, it's Howard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. On play action, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. An Eagle 1st down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Play action. Now Wentz. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Waiting. 51, Mike, 51. What's the ball?
Wentz now on 1st down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Again, it's Wentz. This one complete to Sproles. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now Wentz again. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now Wentz. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
A 29-yard attempt.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now a run with Geis. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Keenum, and Davis with it left side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Keenum now, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Geis. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
You ready?
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the ground, it's Geis. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Keenum to throw. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Paul Richardson there to make the grab. And the Redskins are going to retake the lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. That time a 6-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Wentz, a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. It's complete. It's Sproles. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now a play fake, and it's Keenum. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray 1st, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in, but the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
Here's Tressway now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. No gain on the dump-off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Go. 180. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd. Get in the weight room. This is done.
On 2nd down, it's Howard, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz, and that will be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They start on the ground with Geis. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
A shotgun snap for Keenum. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 18-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. It's caught inside the 25. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 59 yards. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket, completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Wentz to throw. Ertz over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now Wentz. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at the 20. After the interception, here's Keenum. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. On the carry, Thompson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On play action, it's Keenum. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reed. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Well, a clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
Here we go. Lady. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Now Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing his Wentz. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
55 mark, guy, 55.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Jackson's got it over the middle. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, 50 yards. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead, it's down to just one score. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
The offense now at the line, ready for drive. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Keenum. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Keenum. And he finds McLaurin. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Keenum. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. This is Geis. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Keenum to throw on 3rd and 1. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here goes the high. Like 20. Number 53. Mike 53.
Back to the ground game now with Geis. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Well, this drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Keenum now to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Shotgun snap for Keenum. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Keenum. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he is really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Wentz going to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick, and he'll be down at the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
And here come the Redskins now. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Geis. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
On second and goal, Keenum looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is third and inches. Throwing is Keenum to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So on comes the kicker, Dustin Hopkins, in a big spot. Hopkins' kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get this back to just the 20 with a penalty marker down. Let's see what this is about.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's second and 10 now from the 35. Throwing now is Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Jackson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. To throw is Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jackson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Wentz to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. And Jeffrey's got it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a first down, and he's also over 190 receiving yards now. What a game. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, it's Howard. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be third down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Wentz to throw. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on fourth down.
You ready? You ready?
Wentz to throw for it on fourth. And he's got it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Wentz. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Back to throw. Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. They got the dramatic score to tie the game here late 4th quarter. Now all eyes resting on the foot of one man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Your brother called me before the game. That's his guy in fantasy. He needs this one badly.
So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Keenum and the offense now. Down by 1. 20 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Jordan Reed was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Keenum now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One final try now for Keenum. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Keenum picked by his old teammate Andrew Sendejo. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.